we're just shy of 2 weeks into the U.S. attacks in Iran. And you know who is still struggling to get his story straight, including his claim that the Iranian military is to blame for the missile strike on a girls' school that killed 175 people. Take a look.
For the strike on the school in Iran, a new report says the military investigation has found it was the United States that struck the school.
I don't know about it.
You just said it is a little excursion, and you said it is a war. So which one is it?
Well, it's both. It's both. It's an excursion that will keep us out of a war, and the war is going to be. I mean, for them it's a war. For us, it's turned out to be easier than we thought. We've won. Let me say, we've won. You know, you never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over.
We don't want to leave early, do we? We got to finish the job, right? Idiot.
Okay. So given the messaging, does anyone know what they're doing? Is anything, do we know anything other than we are bombing Iran? What's happening with all the other countries that we're in? Has anybody explained why we were dropping bombs in the sea because we were looking for drugs? I mean, what is happening? Okay.
Okay.
Nobody knows.
I don't know. I don't think that. I think the reason that there's so much confusion is because we're getting a lot of mixed messages from this administration, and we're getting a lot of misinformation from this administration. In terms of what happened at the girls' school, where 175 people were killed, likely mostly children, young girls. The New York Times is reporting that a military investigation, has determined that the U.S. is responsible for the missile strike on an Iranian elementary school. It was a Tomahawk missile, and the U.S. is the only country currently involved in the conflict that uses those types of missiles. So I don't think that that is a question, even though the president is saying that he doesn't know anything about it, and even though they're saying that a military investigation. And that would make this strike the most significant military mistake that has happened in decades. And I think that that is shameful. And those people that voted for this president because he was going to take us out of war, not start wars, because he was going to put America first. I do wonder what they are thinking now. Those people that were supportive of this war, I wonder what those people are thinking now, because now we're responsible for the death of 175 young girls.
It looks as though you have, like, these people like Hannity and those guys are in the middle somewhere because they're against this. Yeah. And then you have the people, the Republicans who are straight up Republicans who are against it. But then you have these hardcore MAGAs who I think that he even said, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they would still be on my team. I think that this is another example of that. I don't think that these people can be moved. And by the way, the United Nations had called this bombing a violation of international humanitarian law.
It is.
They are going to have to answer to The Hague at some point.
It's an illegal war and an unconstitutional one.
Yes. One reason I think this awful tragedy happened was they were operating on information from years ago.
10-year-old.
Yeah, but more importantly, Pete Hegseth slashed a couple offices. One was the Civilian Harm Mitigation and Response Office, and the other was the Civilian Protection Center of Excellence. These were two areas that were gutted by over 90% of their workforce. This was the area that tried to ensure less civilian death. And the general that we've been seeing, General Dan Kane, even said in his hearing that they were seeing positive impacts from these programs that were newer in the last few years. So what I don't understand is Pete Hegseth then had an excess of a budget, which we've been talking about here at the show, where he had to spend $93 billion in September because he risked the either you spend it or you lose it.
Use it or lose it.
So you have a man that's overseeing the largest Department of Defense, with all these people, all this money, and he had to go and spend $225 million on furniture, $15.1 million on ribeye steaks. The list goes on and on. You are not equipped to lead a group when you are cutting jobs that allow for civilians to be protected while having to spend billions of dollars at the end of the year because you didn't spend it properly as the year went on?
None of them seem qualified for any of this.
Sounds
But
like
that's what they
corruption.
questioned
Yeah.
when he was being confirmed that he didn't know how to run it.
Yeah.
And he's proven it. If you had a damn Costco card,
Yeah.
you could have got all that stuff cheaper if you were going to do it. And here's my problem with it. When I was in the military, they taught us about the Geneva Convention.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
we did not shoot at non-combatants.
That's right.
As a medic, I was considered a non-combatant. This is not the American way. We don't go against civilians and not children.
Correct.
How can we be an honorable nation? How can countries trust us to do the right thing if we're in there doing the wrong thing? And if you have the wrong information, then maybe you got the wrong information of what you're going in there to bomb in the first damn
drop the
place.
bomb.
Am I right?
It's a mistake. It's obviously a mistake. I don't think they intentionally decided to shoot.
They definitely did not.
Civilians. It was a mistake. But the bottom line is the U.S. typically goes through a validation process that includes multiple intelligence organizations before a strike is approved.
But when you
Listen,
gut
but
them,
you
you
may
not
lose
have it.
access
You
to
have
excellence.
you have gutted the federal government.
Yes.
You've fired all of these people
Thanks, Doug.
without even checking to see what their jobs do and how it was going to affect everything.
Yeah.
This is, look, I think back to 1964 when we were trying to get people, I think it's 64, to recognize the horror of what happens when you kill children. When the 4 little girls were killed in that church.
Right.
We have a habit that is new, I think, of not acknowledging when we do something wrong.
Yes.
If you said
Accountability.
we made a boo-boo, we made a mistake,
Yes.
and this should not have happened, everybody could sit back and say, but when you act like you didn't do anything and we're crazy, it's an issue,
But
and
the
you got
world
an
knows.
issue.
The
Or
world
that
is
as the
watching.
world knows.
Yeah,
The
but
world
even
is
as the president of the United States dodging this question when it was such a big
It's a
mistake,
terrible, terrible mistake.
But
the
you know-
least you can do is recognize that these lives were lost and
That's
it was
right.
an accident.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he can't do that. He couldn't do that in Minneapolis. He can't do it there. He has a big issue with saying, I'm sorry this happened. We've never seen him do it ever.
and a commander in
And
chief
nothing's
should be
gotten
able to
better,
do
by the
that.
way.
Nothing
He
has
says
gotten
it's
better.
over. It's
Yeah.
not over.
Yeah.